Deep in southern Afghanistan, 50 young Americans are under fire. This is their home. The Taliban have launched an attack on their base. Charlie Company has been dug in here for 6 months. In this area, the enemy is as strong as ever.
War's over. Killed them all.
Did you hear the aircraft and the vehicles?
The men are led by First Lieutenant Patrick Higgins.
It's good you're thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Higgins was in college. Today, the 24-year-old is in charge of the Mizan district of Afghanistan's Zabul province. There is no national government here, and the Taliban control 90% of the area.
The challenge there is how much can you control with what you have, and that's the challenge we've been trying to meet out here.
On the base, a few Romanian soldiers, 75 Afghan forces, the company mascot, and Higgins' men.
We're supposed to disrupt the enemy movements. This is one of the main routes the enemy uses from Pakistan to get into the central heart of Afghanistan.
This is Sergeant Nicholas GAULTIER. On this day, he happened to receive a Purple Heart for a 2007 mission in Ramadi, Iraq, when his Bradley was destroyed. He helped save his gunner that night, though he would later die in the hospital.
What does it mean to you that he got to see his family?
To be perfectly honest, that's the only thing I can actually see why I'm still doing my job. He got to see his family. He got to say his goodbyes. Most guys don't have that chance.
It is love for their fellow soldier and love of fighting that keeps these guys going. They serve in one of the most austere provinces in the country. Literacy is under 10%. Schools have been threatened and only a handful are open, and there are few roads, dirt or paved.
It's a difficult situation these people are facing out here. They want to hold out hope for the government. They want to hold out hope for a better alternative. But here you have the Taliban coming and shaking guns in their faces, and they're wondering, when is this going to change?
Every mission is designed to bring about that change. For Charlie Company, the idea is to create a blanket of security.
Basically, I want you to go down to the riverbed, cross, go in between the orchards.
In each mission, the Afghans lead, followed by the army. But Higgins always decides where they go.
Basically, this riverbed, it's right in our backyard. So we have to come down here and just kind of ensure that the Afghan people are satisfied.
Today's mission starts out as routine. The dog joins the fight.
What, you left me?
Higgins walks with his translator, nicknamed Skeletor. They joke about their isolation.
I haven't seen a woman older than 12 in 6 months. Yeah, it's horrible.
But the quiet is short-lived.
What are they shooting at?
Hey, sir, top of the mountain.
Skeletor, find out what they're shooting at. Skeletor! Find out what they're shooting at! Are they shooting it to some dude up there? Mizan base is Blackfoot 3-6. Go ahead. I'm gonna need mortars on TRP-27.
Afghan troops have opened fire ahead of the Americans. Higgins calls for backup and tells his men to shoot only if they see someone with a gun.
Watch and shoot! Tell them to watch and shoot. Skeletor, get behind some cover!
The backup arrives in Humvees, which the soldiers use as cover.
After the Humvees arrives, the soldiers continue to push up toward the firing, which is still going on, but we still don't know what's up there or what we'll find.
Afghan forces had targeted at least one Taliban spotter. Then they saw multiple fighters who fled after the base started firing mortars.
This enemy is egressing to the south. Call up Zabul, see how fast we can get Kaz.
Some of his men rushed out of the base so quickly they didn't even have time to put their pants on.
Wow.
Is that an RPG?
Yeah.
Tell them to watch and shoot.
Are the Afghans listening to you?
It's a language barrier, and they get over-eager sometimes.
Higgins pushes as far as he dares. Taliban fighters have disappeared into the thick set of trees. Higgins makes a decision. It would be too risky for his group of only 20 soldiers to chase them.
That's one of the limitations we have out here, is we only have a platoon strength, so we're limited in the operations we can do. Clearing this orchard is one of them, but that's why this whole troop surge thing is going to be a bonus. So once they get more dudes out here, we can actually do more than just disrupt the enemy in here. We can more effectively just hunt them down and destroy them.
That surge is the cornerstone of the new U.S. strategy across southern Afghanistan. In nearby Helmand, thousands of Marines arrived a few months ago and have now launched one of the war's largest operations. In Zabul, thousands of soldiers will be arriving in the next month to begin their own push. Until then, Higgins' commander admits nothing will change.
We can go wherever we want, and so can the Taliban. And until we can stop them from doing that, yeah, we're not winning until that point. Is that point coming? Absolutely, it's coming.
It's something we're good at. You know, we're seek and destroy the enemy. That's what we were trained to do. It's what we came in to do. It's what we love to do.
But seeking and destroying is just part of the job. Higgins and his men admit that to win this war, they will have to fire fewer bullets and drink more tea. Today's mission, the village of Mukarek. The more U.S. troops visit, the more confidence they create in the local population.
You got to earn their respect. You got to follow through. And if we deliver, they're inclined to, they're more receptive to our questions, and they're more open with their answers. So basically, if you give a little, you get a little.
But even though Mukarek is only a few miles from the U.S. base, it is a Taliban transit town. Militants come here for the night and leave quickly, and they come here more often than U.S. soldiers.
At the night, if they want to come in through those valleys, through those cuts, through those back mountain trails, there's not much we can do to stop them except come out here periodically and hope we get them.
Talk to the village elder and you'll understand what's going wrong for the U.S. He can't defend himself against the Taliban, and so he can't accept U.S. development aid for a clinic and a school. And the U.S. doesn't have enough troops to help defend this village all the time. We're fed up with the Taliban, and we're fed up with you, he says. I am lost. And that is how the war goes. The U.S. tries to build up Afghan police and soldiers, but they are still undermanned and undertrained. The U.S. tries to prove it's here to help, but hasn't been able to do that everywhere. The U.S. tries to beat back the Taliban, but it hasn't yet completed that mission.
If we had the resources to be sufficient in a fight, we could really effectively stop the training and the movement of Taliban coming into Afghanistan, but we don't.
The U.S. has been in Afghanistan for almost 8 years, but 8 years of presence doesn't mean 8 years of progress. As one U.S. official told me, Afghans will help the U.S. defeat the Taliban once they think the U.S. is going to win, but right now, it's not clear who's winning. I'm Nick SCHIFRIN for Nightline on Forward Operating Base Mizan in Zabul, Afghanistan.